tell us about Optimizely, and maybe we can start with this very important problem affecting anyone with a website in today's generation of AI and how it's evolving. Tell us about AEO, GEO. Let's start there so that our audience truly understands the problem you're solving.
Yeah, RJ, it's amazing. 8 billion people are changing their behaviors of how they find information and how they engage with brands. Yeah, it is really that fundamental. I mean, for the last 25 years, you and I and everybody else on this planet, pretty much use search engines to find results, and now people want answers, and they come through generative, and answer engines like ChatGPT and Perplexity and other tools. And I think when customers change, and basically end consumers change their way of doing something, it impacts every single brand in the world. Doesn't matter if you're a retailer or if you're a bank or if you do something else. Everybody is changing. And the biggest question for these brands is, how do I not become invisible? How do I still maintain control of my brand narrative? And how do I actually produce content that gets picked up by these answer engines? And so what we do for our customers is our reason for being was always about helping marketers and brands create a great digital experience and engage with their customers. And now there's another way that happens, and it happens through, again, these answer engines. And that's why we provide now on our platform capabilities for customers to actually show up, in those answers, and be able to still control the brand narrative. And I think that's really, really important because ultimately everyone wants to be close to their customer, grow their business, etc. And just, like before, there's a website, there's a social channel. Now there's another really, really big, important channel emerging very, very fast. And a lot of companies are already behind, because so much is new, so much is happening so fast. And it's probably one of the most exciting times I can think about my career, RJ, right now in this very moment. And change is always opportunity. The
Mm-hmm.
biggest opportunities come from challenges, and today is full of them.
Mm-hmm. So, could you explain how your technology or solution actually works? So, if I'm a busy person and I'm speaking into ChatGPT and I just say, I'd like to learn about the top, three banks and where I should maybe find a holistic solution across my business and personal financial needs. Typically, if you had previously typed that into Google, you would come up with some maybe web page recommendations, and then I'd be able to experience the brand of that bank by going to their website, watching videos, seeing articles about their CEO, etc. Now it's simply factual coming back to me in text. And so, how would Optimizely be able to influence that experience or direct the user to the brand or something about the brand that helps, really tell the story of that
Yeah.
brand?
Yeah, in two major ways. The first one is the website and where your content is today. In the past, it was a window into your brand for human beings coming to your site. Now, that same website is being scraped and crawled by tools like ChatGPT. So that the content that needs to be on the website needs to be written in such a way that anyone who scrapes or crawls the website understands concisely what you do so that you get picked up. So the first thing is, and there's technical aspects to this, which is like the tags that you use. There's something called an LLM.txt file that gets read. Those things need to be in place so that you actually get picked up and referenced by the site. It's about how you actually write something. It's about how concise it is. It's question and answer things that LLMs like. It's several things that, just like search engine optimization, you can now optimize. You are actually present. The big idea here, RJ, is that it's no longer just humans going to your site. Now it's bots going to your site. Yeah. And so you need to not just optimize for the human traffic. Now you need to optimize for the bots who, again, use the content so that when you type in that question, you get referenced. So that's one part. The second part is that your brand is in many, many different places typically. A very simple example is there's a Wikipedia page probably about your bank in your example. That Wikipedia page should have the same content on it than it says on your website. Yeah. So there's, and we do this with a lot of our customers, this notion about content consistency, content inventory, and really thinking about how do you keep content consistent across different touch points. Reddit is a resource, etc. And so when you do one of the LLM searches, and you get an answer, you oftentimes see at the bottom that it tells you how many different sources were referenced. When you actually click on this, it's your website, but it's also all the other places where your brand shows up. Now, if your answer of who you are as a company is always different across all these different places, guess what? Your summary result is going to be pretty poor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's those sort of things that are that we work with customers on.
Now, to better understand Optimizely, can you give us maybe a more holistic picture of the various solutions you provide, and maybe which main solution is the key driver to most of your clients? And then along with that, what is the composition of your client base? Is it across the board, all industries, or are certain industries more prevalent?
Yeah. So what we do is we help marketers create great digital experiences that and that they can optimize and personalize through our platform. And so basically there are two big parts of our business. We are $400 million business, and there are two parts of the business roughly the same size. One is managing content and managing a full content supply chain, which means for me, a marketing organization basically lives and breathes based on content. Every campaign, every website, every blog post, every social post, everything you see, every out-of-home advertisement, everything is actually content. We help companies manage all that content, and we help companies publish this content across different channels. One of those channels is the website, which we also provide. And that's a big core part of our business. And then the second part of the business is once you actually publish something, you want to understand your customer and you want to personalize it and you want to use data to assess what works well with what segment and how do you constantly test and optimize this. And that's where the name Optimizely came from. Early on, Optimizely was a pioneer in the A/B testing space. Actually started during the Obama campaign where two Google engineers helped Obama raise funds through the internet. And that actually became the original Optimizely. But it's this notion about behaviors, understanding behaviors of human beings at scale on the internet, because you can see clicks, etc., and providing them different options and seeing who is engaging with what. And what I just described to you, the content as well as the optimization, is a loop, it's a flywheel. We provide a platform we call Optimizely One, where customers can manage content and optimize it. And so what basically happens is every time you publish content, you see how it performs, then it influences you again in terms of what you can do better on the content. And that flywheel is what we do for our customers. And so, a large part of our customers uses us across the portfolio. Others use us primarily for content. Others use us primarily for optimization. That's at a nutshell our business.